Please leave a message after the tone.
You got 7 questions due. Your life is going down the tubes. What do you do when you need advice?
This is where it gets good. Good night.
What am I fighting for?
So turn down the lights, pick up the phone and leave a message for the new
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another episode of Nude Clan After Dark. I am your host, Caleb Schweiss.
Caleb Craig.
Cameron.
And Zach.
And today, guys, it looks like we have one single solitary question to answer on this episode. So, if you want the episode to be longer, ask us some fucking questions. We'll usually do two.
Maybe we just won't do anything if you don't give us questions.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll just sit here, and you have to hear us heavy breathe the whole time.
Ooh, yes.
Honestly, that would be a pretty sweet episode. Just like creepy
status
the whole time.
And then every now and then you hear a crinkle of a chip bag as Craig grabs 4 more chips and just crunches through them.
I don't really eat chips.
And then, like, occasional, like, just random grunts and, like, throat clearings to say
you
nothing.
gotta have, like, as soon as you're playing games, you gotta be like the,
Or we just play a game in the background and they're just basically like hearing us react to it the whole time.
Fuck. Shit, God damn it.
And we're all playing different games.
Yeah. And it's like a super pretentious credit scene where, like, it just shows the person, like, doing normal stuff and then the credits are rolling and then you just hear them occasionally. Like, what the fuck is this? Where's all the voices?
So are we getting to the ASMR game then? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Let's create a separate YouTube that's Nude Clan ASMR, and just have our mics on us all day, every day. Just fucking throw it on.
No, because you'll hear me be a real dick to customers as soon as they leave. This fucking guy, like.
Yeah, that's a great replacement idea right there. That's fantastic. Just fucking heavy breathing, grunts, and just like adjustments. Man, that's the future. That's the future right there. All right, let's see what this voicemail has for us. This single solitary voicemail, and we'll give him our single solitary answer.
I called in a couple times before, obviously. I was the one that called in about the cum stalagmite. I'm thinking we go like full How to Catch a Predator style on this, where I just have one and interview him for a little bit, and then break news to him as my first episode, and we just go through breaking news to people. I don't know. That's just a thought. I'd really run out of people to break news to. Eventually, I'd probably have like 2 episodes, and then I'd be like, what the hell am I supposed to do? You guys give me an idea. So that way I can keep the calligraphy guy away from my girlfriend, even though she hates him, and he's just kind of a creepy dude. Alright? You guys have a wonderful time. Take it easy, alright?
Alright, so this is cum, stalactite, and calligraphy man.
Oh boy.
That cum stalactite episode of the show is one of my favorites also, by the way.
Yeah, one of the ones you go back to re-listen to.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking funny. That was gold, Craig. It was a good one. It's one of the few episodes Cameron has missed since in the time we were 3 because of horrendous traffic.
Yeah, that was that day. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, man. It's been a long time since you've missed. And it's
well,
like...
and I only missed because I was sitting for hours in traffic, and so I missed the After Dark, but I was still there for the main episode.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to that episode, Cam?
No, never. It'll be like Two Girls, One Cup. Forever just known about, but never witnessed.
Isn't that just a trailer, though? Isn't that thing just a trailer? Did they ever actually make it?
I don't know.
Okay, because I know I've watched the trailer, and it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
Nah. Yeah, I didn't know about that until I was, like, in my 20s. Like, you guys were like, oh, it's just Two Girls, One Cup. And I was like, what are you talking about? And apparently it was this...
surprised it didn't start with you, actually.
Yeah. Guys, I saw this sweet video when I was perusing last night. Oh, my God.
Oh, no one would ever say that's sweet.
You know,
Schweiss
would.
You have to, because you have to trick
No.
everyone.
You know,
the trap.
Schweiss would unironically watch it, or just ironically watch it again and again, just because he thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that
don't-
Schweiss would like to do.
I don't know, man. It's not funny. I don't think I could conceive of that as being funny.
Schweiss, do you
just-
think it's funny?
It's straight up gross.
I think the idea of doing that is pretty funny. I don't know.
I mean, thinking about it in terms like that, yeah, but like actually saying it, and you're like, oh no.
It's pretty foul. So I don't know if it would actually be funny. It's better as thinking about it than actually doing it. I'm pretty positive of that.
Why do you keep framing it as doing it? Why not just frame it as watching it?
Do you not
Why do you
know what
always have to put
happens?
yourself in that seat? Why does it have to be you doing it?
Oh no, it's not. I mean, there is
He's
no
talking
you.
about them doing it.
Yeah, or me watching it. Like I don't.
Yeah,
There's
I
not
don't
much
know.
of a male presence in this video. They are very industrious, though. I'll say that.
Of a male presence, there isn't any.
Industrious.
Yeah, they're very. They know how to. They would survive on
recycle.
Arrakis. Yeah, they
They're just-
recycle.
They're just living the American dream. That's all they're doing.
Desert planet.
Dude. Yeah.
No moisture goes to waste.
Oh
Dude.
God!
Arrakis. Desert planet.
Yeah, 2 girls, 1 cup.
two Fremen, 1 cup.
2 Fremen, 1 cup. Yeah.
2 Fremen, 1 still suit.
1 still suit.
Yeah. That's their taboo porno. 2 Fremen, 1 still suit.
Whatever, their taboo porno would just be someone just like pouring water on the ground, and the guy's like, "Oh fuck yeah, you don't even care, you dirty girl." Like that
Yeah.
would be.
Watching it get absorbed by the cracking, horrendously hot ground. Oh yeah, I love watching it. I love watching it slide into your crack. I wonder. I'm gonna have to look for Dune porn now. Just like legit Dune
Oh my
porn, not
God,
like
no.
Dune costume porn, but like what Arrakis people would watch.
You should email the dude's son because he answers questions about his dad's work.
Yeah,
Just
hey,
ask him.
you guys got porn?
It's like what kind of if porn existed on Arrakis, what kind of porn would the Fremen be watching?
Yeah.
I need to know.
This is for a podcast. I
Yeah,
need all the information.
seriously. So what is this guy supposed to do with his podcast now that he knows how to start a podcast?
So he wants us to give away potential ideas that we could do at one point. I mean, knowing that Schweiss is probably starting on his own personal stalagmite.
Yeah. I think one of the things that makes stuff like South Park so long-lasting is because it's always referencing pop culture at the time. So I think a news, like, gaff episode, like you were talking about, or podcast, is a pretty good idea. Just kind of, like, taking the news, whatever's big, and, like, kind of making fun of it. I mean, that's what pretty much
The only thing is
nighttime
that
guys
idea
do.
could be oversaturated.
Yeah, that's like every night show. I mean, I think it's pretty easy to be funnier than Trevor Noah, but not everyone. I don't know if everyone feels that way.
I mean, most late night hosts are not funny, so
I mean, it comes down to like how you like your sense of humor. Because everyone's sense of humor is different. So I mean, like, you can be in the same vein as someone, but you could be perceived as funnier because the way your delivery or how you're using your humor.
Yeah, I think Jon Stewart is actually a pretty funny person. And then like the late night shows where they're comedians.
They also have other people write their shit, so
that's true.
It doesn't necessarily come from them, and because it's not necessarily always their humor, it doesn't always click.
Yeah,
especially if you like the person.
I mean, it definitely also depends on kind of the viewership, too. They'll have to tailor the jokes to what the viewership will find funny, so a lot of it kind of swings one way or the other.
Yeah.
On a certain spectrum.
Like how the Colbert Report was basically like supposed to be very conservative, as a joke.
Yeah.
Yes, that is...
And then like Bill Maher's show, he's pretty funny, but when he gets too political, it's like, now you're kind of just being dumb. Like, he's really funny though, and he is a comedian, so he probably does write most of his own stuff. I doubt it's all of it, but I don't know. I think you could do something like that as a podcast idea, as long as you can come up with ways to like spoof the news. But I mean, a lot of people already do that. And they're really big late night show guys. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the best podcast to do. I think it'd be more fun to just think of all of the things that you really love doing and then try to conceive of a podcast within those things and say, look, how would a podcast on, beating off at 2 a.m. versus a podcast on this book series I'm really knowledgeable about? Like, which one of those is more marketable?
Well, it depends, because some of that might turn from a podcast into an OnlyFans. So, you gotta decide.
I mean, the jacking off thing, and like you could discuss like knuckle technique and whatever. So I mean, who knows?
Knuckle technique.
Yeah. So I mean, that might show like, wow, I actually have a lot more to talk about when it comes to like jacking off in the middle of the night than I could have ever expected. And it's not necessarily like
gotta introduce the various techniques, like the stranger.
Yeah.
The surprise in hole number 2.
Could do an episode about like different things to use as lube if you don't have any like butter or like Pam or something like that. Just go crazy. Go crazy with it. Have fun.
Hand sanitizer that has like lotion in it.
Oh, that would burn, bro. Are you fucking serious?
Schweiss is over there using his sandpaper.
Yeah, pleasure and pain.
Yeah.
But
what kind of grit do you use?
Oh, yeah, so it's 0. It's just a rock. I just grab a handful of rocks in my hand and I just go to town on my dick. And once it recovers and heals, though, and the scabs come off, like it's like a brand new penis.
Oh my god!
Shedded skin.
Looks a little bit different every time.
Yeah. It's just like it looks so perfect. Like it's just so smooth. Consistency of a newborn. After the healing process, of course, you have to heal up the wounds.
Is it like some of those rocks where if you pour water on it, kind of changes colors?
Yeah. It's like the phoenix too. It just comes back like reborn, but a little less every time. So you have to be careful. You can't do it too much, or you'll have a tiny dick. Now,
Get to the eraser part of the pencil.
Yeah. There's not much left to work with here. No, though.
You go from rocks to pebbles.
Yeah, that's right. You got to just adjust the. You gotta be adaptable. That's really
improvise, adapt, overcome.
Exactly. And then at the very end,
I'm surprised you're not touting your income capabilities.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised no one else has done that. Like, it's so weird. Like, what I thought when I discovered it, I was like, oh, everybody's got to know about this because, like, this is the ultimate, like, no need to clean up. You could just hold your dick until the cum goes back to your balls or whatever the fuck happens to it.
No mess, no way.
Oh boy.
Question from us to you: how many of you guys tried that since we brought it
God
up?
damn it.
And you got to hold it for like a few minutes though, or like it'll still come out. But eventually, it's nothing. And in fact, if you happen to have liquid somewhere, you can put your dick on it, and it will pull that liquid up as well. So it becomes a vacuum of liquids. So it's kind of a still suit. If you will.
UTI tutorial for sure.
Oh God.
Oh man, I wonder if that's how they get the moisture back into their bodies in the still suit. They just jack off and then they like hold it in.
No.
And then they like use their penis to just like suck it off of the inside of the suit.
So what you're saying is they jack in?
They jack in, yeah. Here on Arrakis, we jack in.
Gary Herbert, if you're listening to this podcast, we need answers.
Arrakis.
You know they're just
Desert
drinking
planet.
it.
Yeah,
That's
they
what
are just drinking it.
little nipple hose thing is in their still suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it tastes like really bad because they mentioned that too.
Probably just tastes like
What's her name? No, because it
soft
says
water.
it says taste acrid is what it was described by Jessica.
Nasty. I mean, we're basically doing that now, though. Our water is just like all water, like fucking refiltered. Well, like the treatment centers.
Water is water.
It's good quality H2O.
Yeah, like our treatment centers take like the waste out of the water and then we recycle it and reuse it. So we're kind of already doing that.
No, you can tell where it goes. Yes, we will retreat wastewater, but it's still reintroduced to the reservoirs and stuff like that. You can tell where your city gets its water from.
Dude, did you hear? I guess at the beginning of the week, Magna had to have a boil water order because they found a raccoon in one of
dead
the
raccoons.
so funny.
Tom Nook sends his regards.
Yeah, it's Timmy's body in there. He can only afford one son.
So he chose Tommy.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they keep selling all
The
their fucking
namesake.
bells for
Yeah,
fucking
he's-
tarantulas.
he's like, I'm done with this shit. I'm done you buying stupid shit, and he just beat the shit out of him. He made Timmy have to kill Tommy, or Tom have to kill Timmy.
Yeah.
Power move.
I think when you're doing a podcast, though, to answer his question, you want to make sure it's something that you're interested in enough that you can talk about for hundreds of hours. So you can't really create that interest. You have to find things that you are that interested in, that you're either willing to consume and be a part of, or you already have consumed and have been a part of for years. So, like, your possible excellent podcasts, I think, are kind of finite in a lot of ways. Like, for us, we've got a bunch of ideas to create shows, but some of them, it's like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool, but I don't know if our hearts would really be in it. And would it then be a good show because we're not super into it? And I think the answer would probably be no. If it even kept going on to begin with, that's barring no one like leaving.
The time commitment is huge as well. So you better be really interested and invested into talking about your subject matter, else it'll just, kind of peter off after a few months.
Yeah, and then
pretty
you've-
much like the amount of time that you guys spend listening to our podcasts, the amount of time it took to record it is like double that easily.
Yeah, and
So-
it's probably more like 10 times that, because we have to do like a game review. We have to finish the game and then do a write up and then think about write up all the stuff to talk about and like really plan. And that stuff takes
but
a
just
long
mean
time.
for the day of recording. That like by itself is, 4 or 5 hours for like 2 episodes.
Yeah, and that's lazy. I mean, I heard the one of the shows my wife listens to. It's called Crime Junkies, and I think she said that on one of their episodes they mentioned that it takes them like upwards of 20 hours per episode, and those are 30-minute episodes. So like, their podcast is really good. I'm not really into that, like listen about people disappearing and getting murdered and like shit like that. That's like a woman thing. I don't know what it is. It's like they're obsessed. Like the bringers of life are the most obsessed with death. It's like really bizarro. I don't know why the fuck that's a thing, but like even at work, there's a bunch of women that are like, "Oh yeah, I listen to all these crime shows," and I was like, and then I'll ask them, I'm like, "So how do you feel about like letting your kids go outside to play?" And it's always no. It's like, well, you realize crime is the lowest it's ever been since like the 50s, right? It's like, yeah, but it doesn't matter. And so now we've got like all these ladies that are convinced that everyone's gonna kill them, and also the crime shows are like the only thing that they listen to, and it's like fuck. But they do a really good job, see, and it's like 30-minute episodes, and it takes them 20 hours to plan it. And that's why it's a really good show.
Well, I'm sure they have to do so much fucking research.
Yeah, and it's nothing but research, unless it happens to be something that they know, or someone that they know, or a situation they followed at the time, which how many times, I mean, to me, it's 0 how many times I could follow that, unless it was like Elizabeth Smart, I guess. Like, chick gets kidnapped out of her window. But, like, we found her, so...
I'm sure there's a few, like, ones they could do, like, with, like, recurring people, like, do it by murder instead of by, like, just serial killer,
Yeah. But, like, that's... So, some of those topics are nothing but research. So, you gotta make sure it's something that you're willing to do if you do that. But if you do that right, it can be really good. Even from me, and I don't even listen to the show, really. I just kind of catch it when she's listening to it. They do a great job, and a lot of it's because of the research that they do. They know their shit. So you have to make sure it's something you're willing to talk about for just hundreds and hundreds of hours. Like if it's something that you never shut up about, you could probably make a podcast on it. At least you'll have the passion to do so, which is I think it's the first step. And you
First
can
step is admitting you have a problem.
Yeah, that's right. Second step is developing a passion for the problem. And third step is creating a podcast about your problem. And that's what we're all doing here at Nude
And the
Clan.
fourth step is surrendering to a higher power.
A higher power.
And step 5 is a second weekly show that's shorter than the other one most of the time. But yeah, make sure it's something you enjoy, or at least something that you enjoy enough, and have someone else that absolutely loves it, like as a co-host or something. And then you'll have,
or hates it, because that's funny too.
That's true. Yeah. How long can hate keep a thing going? You'd be surprised.
Yep.
Yeah, the bitterness is there.
We've had our fair share of spite on this show with games we've been cursed to play. So,
Have we?
Yeah, everyone but Cameron. I think Cameron still remains pure.
Yeah.
As,
trying to think.
as pure as one who wanted and nominated and caused Bounty Hunter to happen can be.
I didn't think it was that bad of a game. I mean, it had some janky controls that we marked it down for, but as a whole, I didn't have too big of an issue with it.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're as pure as you can be.
And then, of course, there's Craig, who broke the game immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the game's fault. It's fucking terrible.
I mean, yes and no.
There's no Cam.
You broke the game by refusing to complete the first mission.
The game
but it
shouldn't
have
break.
let you But it shouldn't have let you complete the first mission without doing what it needed you to do.
You know, I still beat the game without doing that.
I know, and that's probably what glitched the fuck out of your game.
Not
What
the
if-
first time.
What if that's what glitched your PlayStation 4 this whole time? Like, what if you think back and you're like,
I've
oh my
had
god.
glitches before Bounty Hunter.
I just think Craig plays games in a way that they just don't expect a human to play a game. And it just, every game
I
he
play
does, and it
games
just breaks
So
his
his
normally.
brain.
PlayStation like has a
and-
fucking seizure.
No, they just see that I'm playing the game, and then they're like, all right, this guy is going to be our play tester. And then
Yeah.
I find everything.
Like, Craig, you should just make a compilation of all the glitches and just use it as your resume for game
I don't
testing.
think I have all the glitches anymore. Because, like, on Twitch, they, like, get rid of them after a while.
If you clip it, they stay forever. I've got all the clips that I clipped while I was watching you play Bounty Hunter, and I watch them whenever I feel like cry laughing.
I have... I only took a video of, like, a few of the ones from Alice, because Alice didn't have a recording thing. I
Yeah,
had to do that with my phone.
Oh, man,
then-
the best Bounty Hunter moment
Dude,
was...
7
was the-
minutes
was
into
the-
playing that freaking Star Wars, the Jedi Fallen Order, I fell through the wall.
That's your fault.
7 minutes into the game.
yeah. You weren't listening to what the game wanted you to do.
Yeah, I didn't have any
No,
glitches
I
in that game,
was.
bro.
Did you not watch my stream? It was
No.
like the very beginning part where you're like climbing up to the top of that thing. I grabbed onto this rope and I jumped to the other side, and instead of being able to grab the wall, he just flew through it.
Yeah, I remember the game specifically saying, "Don't touch the wall. The wall is lava."
The wall is locked.
And so I didn't die
The wa-
there.
it's more like the wall doesn't exist rather than being the wall is lava.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I guess I didn't listen all that well. I know I didn't touch the wall though. That's just saying.
You had to touch the wall. You had to like grab it.
Oh,
But it didn't even let
yeah,
you do
yeah.
that. I like flew through it.
My favorite Bounty Hunter moment, though, has to be, Craig's, pleas of desperation to have someone kill him, but it couldn't come. The sweet release of death wouldn't come.
Yeah. I think, Craig, you're just the once and future glitch.
Yeah. I mean, I did find some glitches in that Doom Eternal.
Of course
Yeah.
you did.
Yeah, I think I found like one or two. There were a few weird visual fuck ups. Like I was chainsawing a guy whose legs were in the ground one time, but that was weird because I was like in the air, he was in the air, and then I started chainsawing him. And so I was
Yeah.
like, well, I give that one a little break because it's kind
There's
of a
something that
ridiculous
I-
setup.
There's something that I had a question on in the game, but I'm going to wait till the review because it's part of like gameplay that it confused me because I think it was a glitch, but I'm not sure. So I'll wait until the review though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just find something that you love and give it a and like lay out a plan of like, okay, what would a podcast like this look like? Like, I mean, we've talked about doing podcasts for book series and stuff like that, but it's like, how do you do a book podcast? Like, and you investigate that, you find out what other people have done. You kind of come up with your own idea of what you feel like you should do and see if that's a workable idea and then kind of go from there.
I feel like there's always a market for something. Like there's always going to be people who think like you, even though you think you're the only one.
Yeah, yeah. And if it's a niche thing, I mean, like when Joe and I did Ultima Final Fantasy, there were a couple other shows out there, but not any that were really doing the whole series. And so we've had a lot of great listener interactions, and we've hung out with some of these people in real life and all that shit from doing it. So like, there's a lot of opportunity to find people that are interested in things, possibly even more so than you are, that you might not think much of,
Right. And like, even if it's like, I mean, there's so many gaming like podcasts and stuff, but there's like a reason people come to this. And like when you do yours, like there's a reason people are going to come to yours.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
It'll be good.
And people listen to like shit tons of podcasts, so it's it's not really always a pissing contest. Like, plenty of the people that listen to our show also listen to some of the people who listen to our shows, like the the Golden Years RPG podcast. Like, a lot of our Ultima listeners listen to that. A lot of the Nude Clan listeners listen to that.
Yeah.
So it's not really, you're not really competing as much as you think you are. You're just trying to add more listening time to every other ear hole, which is really easy because people just devour podcasts.
Yeah,
So,
eat them up.
Yeah.
That's right, eat them up. So yeah, let us know if you actually do, your podcast. I know it's kind of like joking around at this point, but that'd be kind of cool to see what you come up with. Just list all the things you're interested in and then go from there. But all right, you guys got any other thoughts?
You just gotta believe in yourself, bro. That's the first.
Believe in the heart of the cards.
Dude, you gotta cheat at Yu-Gi-Oh! To live your dreams.
Yeah. Or listen to Parappa the Rapper. You just gotta believe.
Gotta believe.
I've decided that 11:30 isn't too early for a beer, so...
Just gotta believe.
Oh, buddy, I am.
I've seen the light. And it's golden amber, baby. Oh, yeah.
It's
Do you
5
think I can-
o'clock
do you think-
somewhere.
Do you think I can record in the shower so I can have my shower beer?
Yeah, just get like a little, like an extension thing and just have it above the shower. We'll just hear like loud water and the occasional word. Yeah, and then the crack of the beer.
Baby. That is good.
All right, awesome. I think that is it for us this time, guys. Crack yourself a beer and get yourself a podcast.
During the pandemic, 5 o'clock is whenever the fuck you want it to be.
That's right. It's 5 o'clock everywhere. All right, guys. 385-204-3921. That is where we need you to call to give us content for you.
Send us the damn questions.
Yeah, seriously. And we'll send you the damn answers.
Because you have the what is it, the Twitter, and you have the Discord for the After Dark questions. We need them, bros and brosettes.
That's right. Any which way you want to give it to us, we'll take it. But
we're ready for you. We're wet and we're dirty girls.
Damn right. Till next time, guys. We'll see you.
Mankind has always been the poison.
Give up on yourselves and give up on the world.
Every puzzle has an answer.
You dumbass. Kick logic out and do the impossible. Remember that.
I'm glad I met you guys. You made me pick up on things I probably would have just gone on ignoring.
Don't believe in yourself. Believe in me. Believe in the Kamina who believes in you. Everybody deals with grief differently, right? Some people fuck at funerals. I cut off heads.